Corinne Blackstone and welcome to my craft room. I am so excited to have you here today. And before we get started, make sure that you're subscribed here on YouTube. It is completely free to subscribe and that way you don't miss out on any of the fun crafty content we have coming. Today's video is 5 more of my favorite Cricut hacks that are going to help you succeed with your projects, make them easier, make them quicker, and they're just things that over the years I've learned and kind of figured out. They may be something brand new to you or something you already know, but be sure to leave in the comments what your favorite hack is with your Cricut, because I would love to hear something that you love to do to save yourself time, money, all the things. So let's go ahead and get started. This first hack is one that I put off using a lot, but honestly makes a big difference. So I'm using a mat that's not super sticky, and I'm gonna bust out my Brayer. The Brayer is great for using on mats that aren't sticky, or also materials that you really wanna make sure are held down really well. It's basically a roller on a handle, but it is a fantastic tool. Now for this one, there's options with your Cricut Maker and Maker 3 to use either a scoring wheel or a scoring stylus. Using the scoring wheel can actually slow down the process because you have to change out your tool for your scoring wheel and then put your fine point blade back in. But if you go under Edit Tools after you choose your cut setting, you can actually choose the stylus instead. And like I said, the reason that you want to do this is it's going to make your designing and your cutting and your scoring go so much faster. And the scoring stylus works great. You just put it into clamp A, push down till it clicks, and then everything else is done pretty much the same, but now you won't have to change out your tool when it comes time to cut around whatever you have scored. The scoring stylus is super inexpensive compared to the scoring wheel as well, which makes a big difference. This is a great option to save yourself some time and money if you don't already have the scoring wheel. And you can see how good the score lines look. Now, when you go to remove your material from your mat, you don't want to pull it up like I'm going to show you here, especially if your mat is newer and stickier, because it can damage your materials. You'll see here how curly all of that extra paper came out, and now I really can't use it again. I could have saved that to use for another project, for some scraps. So what you want to do instead is put your mat on the back so you can see the back side. So flip it over and roll your mat off of your design while holding your design down. Now what you're going to see is my star came out really nice. It's really flat, and now I'm going to be able to use that no problem. This hack is really great if you are using a mat that's maybe not so sticky on one side of it, like on the left or the right side, or if you're using a material that is maybe a smaller size. But this is a great little hack that you can use to save yourself materials, time, headache. You can actually move the items on your Make It screen here to put them over on to the other side of the mat. That way you can kind of move them and manipulate them in any way that you want, depending on the size and the shape of maybe the scrap material that you're using. This is able to be done with any material that you use, so just keep that in mind. Now my mat's a little less sticky on its left side than it is on its right side, so I went ahead and put my paper onto the right side of my mat, and now my Cricut will cut over on that side. This is also really great if you're using a patterned material and you want to make sure that you get a certain part of that pattern included in whatever you're making. It's just a great little trick that you can use to save material, use up scraps, all the fun things. And again, we're going to make sure that we remove this from the mat just the way I showed you before. That way they don't get all messed up. Now again, this mat's not super sticky, so I'm able to pull them off a little easier than I did on that last clip, but you can see I still bend my mat to get them off. This is a super easy and quick hack to use. Now this is one of my favorite hacks to use with my Cricut because I don't love how expensive the Cricut pens are, and also sometimes I want a specific color or a thicker pen. So what I'm doing is adding some text to those little tags that we made, and I'm going to choose a font that is a little bit thinner and then I'm going to change that font over to pen. Now, if you need a little more detailed information on how to use writing with your Cricut, I will link it down below and also up in the corner for you as well. Once I've picked my font and everything, I need to make sure I attach so that it will write on the tag, and then I'm going to go ahead and click Make It. Now I'm going to make a couple of these tags, and I'm going to use just a regular cardstock, but I'm using a Sharpie fine point pen and an adapter. By using an adapter in your Cricut, you're going to be able to use a lot of different types of pens. You need to remove the Cricut adapter, which is this white piece right here, and then you replace it with the pen and the new pen adapter. Now keep in mind that doing this, you'll want to make sure that your machine is out of warranty, meaning that it's over a year old, because this does technically void the warranty, but I've been doing this for years and haven't had any issues with these adapters. I'll link everything down below for my favorite adapter set because this can use so many different pens, and I absolutely love using it. And I'll also link a full video tutorial all about using the different pens with your Cricut because it is so fun and so easy. These are going to write really quickly as well, and what's really nice again is you can use a different thickness, you can use tons of different colors, and the Sharpies, the Crayolas, things like that are all going to be way cheaper than the Cricut pens, and they come with just a lot more options. I'll link below all the different ones that I love to use because I think that you're also going to really love using them too. Now, I always recommend taking the pen out before you unload your material. That way you don't forget and you don't end up accidentally drying out any of your markers or pens that you're using. But look at how good these came out. By using the Sharpie that's just a little bit thicker and nicer than the Cricut pens, I'm able to have a writing font that isn't technically a Cricut writing font, where it's still going to write nice and solid and look really good, but you're not limited to the designs that Cricut offers. If you want some free writing fonts that I highly recommend, I'll link those below for you as well. I have a huge resource list of free writing fonts that are going to work really well with all these different pens. Now look at how good this came out. It'll clear up in just a second, but it looks so cool. I think this came out really neat, and I hope that you guys will try out this hack with these adapters. I hope you guys picked up some new tips and tricks using these hacks. I absolutely love using these. These have become part of my routine when I work with my Cricut. Now please let me know again if you have any hacks that you absolutely love to use with your Cricut down in the comments down below. And don't forget to make sure you're subscribed here, that way you don't miss out on any of our crafty videos. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and as always, happy crafting.